If you love Disneyland, these are 6 attractions in Magic Kingdom you absolutely should not skip because they're either better, completely different, or something you didn't even know you needed. Hello everyone, I'm Molly with Raja Wishes. While I go to Disney World every week now, I didn't grow up coming here. I grew up at Disneyland. I knew every single shortcut, every ride detail, and way too much Disneyland history. So when I came to Magic Kingdom as an adult, I did not expect to be so pleasantly surprised. Even though I absolutely love Disney World, I do still think that Disneyland is by far the superior park when compared solely to Magic Kingdom. However, Magic Kingdom still does have its own charm, and it actually has some things that Disneyland doesn't. So if you are a die-hard Disneyland fan who's planning your first trip to Magic Kingdom, here are the 6 attractions you definitely don't want to miss. Let's start with something Disneyland fans desperately wish they still had: the PeopleMover. This classic attraction was in Disneyland's Tomorrowland from 1967 until it shut down in 1995 to make way for one of Disney's worst rides ever, the Rocket Rods. I loved this ride as a kid in Disneyland, and I never fully got over it being taken away. However, Magic Kingdom still has theirs, and while it's not exactly the same as Disneyland's, it is still a great ride that gives fantastic views of Tomorrowland, and it gives you close to 10 minutes to sit down. And if you love classic Disneyland history, then you have to experience this next one. Directly across from the PeopleMover is Carousel of Progress. This initially debuted at the 1964 World's Fair and then later was brought to Disneyland. This incredibly important piece of Disney history only called Disneyland its home for 6 years before it made its way over to Magic Kingdom, where you can still enjoy this classic show to this day. Now they have made some updates and changes to the show over the years, and more improvements are supposed to be coming, but it is still an amazing and very charming piece of Disney history. If you are a big Walt Disney fan, then you definitely want to make some time to experience this. But now let's talk about a ride you think you know. Peter Pan's Flight is one of the most popular attractions in both Disneyland and Magic Kingdom. It was an opening day attraction for both parks. And this is actually one of the rides that I think Magic Kingdom has the better version of. In Magic Kingdom, Peter Pan's Flight is a tiny bit longer because we have some extra scenes, including the mermaids. This ride also has an amazing interactive queue that Disneyland does not have. Another feature this ride has in Magic Kingdom that Disneyland does not is a lightning lane. This ride is eligible for Lightning Lane Multi-Pass in Magic Kingdom, which means you could skip the hour-long line and be on this ride in under 10 minutes. And if you want something Disneyland doesn't have at all, 7 Dwarfs Mine Train is definitely a must-do. This ride sits in the middle of Magic Kingdom's Fantasyland, and it is fun for all ages. This ride combines a gentle roller coaster with a dark ride, which is something we don't have in California at all yet. This ride is insanely popular, so it does require a Lightning Lane single pass to skip the long standby line. If you are hoping to ride this with the shortest wait possible, my personal favorite time to ride is either during the fireworks or right before the end of the night. And if you're thinking Magic Kingdom doesn't have a modern wow factor, let me introduce you to TRON Lightcycle Run. This just opened up in 2023, and it does thrill ride in a whole new way. Riders sit on bikes to race through the grid, and the canopy outside changes colors at nighttime, which just takes this ride to a whole other level. This ride standby line usually gets to about an hour or higher, so if you're wanting to skip that long standby line, you're going to need a Lightning Lane single pass. And finally, the one Disneyland fans almost always don't know about, Country Bear Jamboree. This was actually an opening day attraction in Magic Kingdom in 1971, but it was so popular that they brought it to Disneyland in 1972 and had 2 theaters. Country Bear Jamboree shut down in Disneyland's Critter Country back in 2001 to make room for the Winnie the Pooh ride. Tears were shed for everyone's beloved bears, but they still perform in their original theater in Magic Kingdom. Now, it's not the original show anymore. Back in 2024, Disney updated the show with new costumes and songs that were inspired by some Disney classics. This new show was a great glow up, and it still pays homage to the classic show we all knew and loved, but it brings the Country Bears into this century. Magic Kingdom isn't just a more spread out Disneyland. It's familiar in the best way, but different enough to surprise you. If you're a Disneyland fan headed to Florida, don't treat it like a copy. Let it show you its own charm, and it might even surprise you with some Disneyland nostalgia. Are you Team Disneyland, or are you starting to fall for Disney World too? Let me know down in the comments. Until next time, wishing you less stress and more magic.